Things took an unexpected turn on last night's Jimmy Kimmel Live, when beloved actor Danny DeVito found himself at the center of a jaw-dropping confrontation that escalated so quickly, it left the audience stunned and producers scrambling behind the scenes. It all started innocently enough, with the crowd cheering wildly as DeVito walked out in his signature swagger, cracking jokes and exchanging banter with Kimmel. The two have shared a long-standing comedic rapport, making the tension that followed even more shocking. As they settled into the typical late-night flow, it became clear something was off. DeVito seemed a bit agitated, repeatedly cutting off Kimmel mid-question and making cryptic remarks. At first, the audience thought it was all part of an elaborate bit, but things soon spiraled beyond entertainment. Kimmel, trying to steer things back to normal, brought up a recent film project DeVito had reportedly walked away from, which, unknown, to him turned out to be a sore subject. DeVito's eyes narrowed, and his tone shifted from playful to piercing. "You don't know the half of it, Jimmy," he snapped, leaning forward with intensity. "You talk a lot for someone who's never had to wrestle a studio exec just to keep a script from being butchered." The room fell quiet, laughter turning into uncomfortable silence. Kimmel blinked, caught off guard. "Danny, we don't have to." But before he could finish, DeVito threw his hands up, launching into a rant about the industry's hypocrisy, calling out unnamed producers and even questioning Kimmel's integrity as a host. People in the crowd started looking at each other, uncertain whether they were witnessing performance art or a genuine breakdown. DeVito's passion was unmistakable. He wasn't just venting, he was furious. "They think they own you," he barked, pointing toward the camera. "They think because you're short or older or weird-looking you're expendable." Kimmel tried to lighten the mood with a joke, something about DeVito being a national treasure and needing security clearance to walk in public. But the levity didn't land. Instead, DeVito shot back with a sharp, "Don't patronize me, Jimmy." That's when producers in the wings started exchanging nervous glances, some holding up cue cards, others whispering into headsets. What followed was a back and forth unlike anything previously aired on the show. Kimmel attempted to regain control, shifting the conversation to lighter topics, but DeVito was having none of it. He called the entertainment business a meat grinder of creativity, and accused several late-night hosts, though not by name, of being complicit in glamorizing mediocrity. Kimmel tried again to play peacemaker, offering DeVito a glass of water and a moment to collect himself. But the actor pushed the glass aside and launched into another tirade, this time questioning how certain people even get into positions of influence in Hollywood. The audience, torn between discomfort and disbelief, didn't know whether to applaud or exit quietly. Eventually, DeVito stood up mid-interview, pacing the stage like a frustrated playwright. "This whole thing," he gestured broadly, "this isn't real, none of it is. They sell you a smile and cash in your soul." Kimmel, visibly sweating now, tried appealing to DeVito's earlier days, referencing Taxi and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, hoping nostalgia might soften the mood. But DeVito simply laughed bitterly. "You think I'm here for memory lane? I came here to speak the truth." Cameras continued to roll, but the director in the booth had already cut, the live feed switching to commercial early. When they came back, only Kimmel was on screen with an awkward chuckle and a promise that the show would resume right after this. Behind the scenes, security and producers tried to reason with DeVito, who insisted he wasn't leaving until he was allowed to finish his message. According to backstage sources, DeVito refused to sit back down, telling staff that late-night TV is the last wall before total silence, and that silencing someone mid-truth was worse than a bad script. Kimmel, caught between professionalism and personal frustration, reportedly told his team to just let him go to avoid further chaos. But it was too late. Clips from the confrontation were already being recorded by audience members and began to circulate online almost immediately, with hashtags like DeVito Unfiltered and Kimmel Showdown trending within the hour. By the time the full story hit social media, fans were split. Some praised DeVito for his candor and raw honesty, calling the outburst a brave stand against Hollywood phoniness. Others criticized his behavior as unprofessional and disrespectful toward Kimmel, who many agreed was trying his best to keep the situation under control. Meanwhile, Kimmel's team released a short statement saying only that Mr. DeVito's appearance did not go as planned, and we wish him the best. No further clarification was provided. DeVito, on the other hand, posted a cryptic message on his personal account. They wanted a puppet, not a person. I gave them the truth. Entertainment insiders began speculating almost immediately. Some wondered if this was part of a guerrilla marketing campaign for an upcoming DeVito project. Others believed it might signal a deeper discontent brewing within Hollywood's veteran class, actors and creators who've spent decades in the industry and are now reaching their breaking point. Analysts noted how DeVito's words mirrored recent criticism from other stars who have voiced concerns about creative suppression, over-corporatization, and the sanitized state of mainstream media. Whether this was a personal moment or a symbolic protest, one thing was certain. DeVito had thrown a rock into the calm waters of late-night TV. In the days following the incident, Kimmel avoided discussing it directly, even as clips racked up millions of views online. His monologues made vague references to rowdy guests and unexpected moments, but no name was mentioned. DeVito, meanwhile, declined all interview requests, but was spotted in public wearing a shirt that read, "I said what I said." Fan-made merch began popping up, featuring quotes from the interview and stylized images of the confrontation. Meme culture, as always, had a field day. Despite, or perhaps because of, the controversy, DeVito's popularity surged, with people debating whether he was unstable, brave, or both. The incident had become more than just TV. It was a cultural moment. As of now, no official ban from the show has been confirmed, but sources inside ABC suggest DeVito will not be invited back for the foreseeable future. Still, some insiders hint that the confrontation might eventually be monetized or used as documentary material. Meanwhile, fans await DeVito's next move with anticipation, wondering whether he'll double down, apologize, or vanish entirely from the talk show circuit. Whether one sees him as a rebel, a provocateur, or simply a star who had a bad night, Danny DeVito's name is back in headlines, and perhaps that, in some unpredictable way, was the point all along.